I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared. I told Rod I was prepared. I'm just messing with you.
Ladies and
gentlemen, welcome to the No Banger Sports Card Podcast.
Whatever you guys want it to be. Whatever it is.
This is karma right there. Right?
This is a very serious, non-serious sports card podcast. And I'm joined by the illustrious co-host Rod from Picking and Punching Cards, who's very serious, and Cary, American Arbitrage Cards. And I'm Tim from Over the Years Sports. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
Wow. You said that you were all serious, and then you jinxed yourself to that process.
I was just messing with you, too, because I was like, I wonder how long it's going to go if I don't say anything before Rod
I'll do an hour and a half. Dead stare into the camera. Hour and a half if that's what's necessary to win.
Remember the staring contest back in the day? You had to just look at your friend in the eye, you couldn't blink and just stare.
I don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, my baby's good.
I once went to the hospital doing that.
You went to the hospital doing that?
What happened?
It's a joke.
Oh,
that's a joke.
I thought you dried out.
Not
your
a good one either.
Or something.
You dried out your tear ducts. Wow. This podcast is already down the tubes.
Sports cards.
We're not even 2 minutes into this thing, but speak about being down the tubes. We're going to talk about Topps today. Topps has kind of been all over the place this past week, but more importantly, the main topic today. We're going to talk about digital sports cards, and is that the future? I know it's going to cause a lot of controversy, especially with all the stuff that happened with NFTs in the past. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But man, Tim, how was your weekend? I heard you went to a sports card show.
Yeah, dibditcards.com is the place to go. 4 Blaster Box Bowman break is going to be tonight. The auctions are ending tonight, starting at 9 o'clock. You guys can check the link in the description below, and you guys can head over there and bid on those. So Bowman baseball. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Bowman baseball today. And I'll tell you, I was fortunate enough to find some Bowman baseball in the bargain boxes because at the card show, this weekend. So the video should be out already. That's my goal, is to get that video out before this podcast so that I can also promote dibditcards.com, where there's a 4 Bowman blaster break.
How many blasters are going to be in that break, Tim?
I can answer that one for
4.
you. I can answer for you. Not
Get out
3,
of town.
Not 5, but 4.
3 would be a lot, but
shut
4.
the front door.
Yeah, it's 4.
4 of them.
4.
Woo.
Man, if people didn't hate you now, already they're going to hate you now, my friend.
But no, I've been watching a lot of this product is super interesting because there's so much value in those Bowman in the blasters, and like if you peruse, is that the right word? Did I say that right? Peruse.
Sounds right.
If you peruse around YouTube, you'll see a lot of these videos where people do they'll break blaster boxes of Bowman versus like a hobby, and to like see the difference in like the amount of hits that you get for the price. Like I was watching one yesterday. It was like 1 hobby box versus 8 blaster boxes. It's really interesting stuff. So I think that the product looks amazing, and it's a huge difference from Bowman Draft, because to this day, it's like the last Bowman Draft that came out. It's almost impossible to find like Bowman Draft stuff in like singles, not even just in the bargain boxes, but in general, because not a lot of people open that product up, and because it was so expensive. So I think this is a lot more affordable entry point for people, and I think it's a loaded checklist. So I was ecstatic to find some of that stuff in the bargain boxes, because I haven't opened any. I haven't opened a blaster. I haven't opened a hobby, nothing.
You can't wait.
So to find some of that stuff in the wild was pretty cool. But the card show was dope. Shout out to all the people who come up and say that they watch the podcast. My guy Leo, who runs that show, is like, I need you guys. I need to get you guys up here, and I need you to get the fellas, and you guys can do a live broadcast from the card show. Big shout out to Leo. He's a big fan of what we do collectively and individually. But yeah, card show was dope. It was good to get out there. I went to the flea market before the card show, scored some killer stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Any cards at the flea market?
No cards. I did buy about 40 baseball hats. So new era baseball hats. So that was pretty cool.
I saw that you got some vintage Tampa Bay Rays. I love the old Devil Ray logo.
Yeah.
Well, tell Leo to call our agents, and we can arrange something for us to go there.
Who's our agent, Kevin?
Oh, I don't know. We don't have an agent, but
I feel like Kevin Commonwealth Picker should be our agent, right?
Yeah, I mean he should be.
Nah, he would take. He's the kind of guy that would take 150% cut.
Yeah,
we'd have to. He'd take all the money and then make us pay him for the pleasure.
So, but all right. So since we're on the top of Bowman, let's jump right in this one. So I want to come out here and I got to apologize, everybody, because I came on here. I stood on my soapbox, said that I thought that this is a great idea about Topps doing this buyback redemption for the Bowman rookies this year.
Yeah.
And I will retract my statement. I would say I think it's a great idea they did it.
You better.
It was a great idea they did it. The execution was done poorly. Topps dropped the ball. They messed this one up. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Bowman has 35 prospect cards with the red.
Is it 35?
35, yeah, 35. And 8 out of those 35 are ineligible to be able to be redeemed for Rookie of the Year. And Tim, why is that?
Because in order to be considered a rookie in baseball, there's certain limitations. So I think it's based upon plate appearances and or days on a roster. I think it's a combination of the two or one or the other. So like guys like James Wood, right? He can't win Rookie of the Year. I wonder if I could name all 8.
Do it.
I don't know the whole 35. I'm shocked that there's 35. But
I can name 8 players that aren't eligible for Rookie of the Year. Cal Ripken Jr. and Senior. There's 2 off the top. Billy Ripken. That's 3.
Can't
go, man.
Go farther.
Senior.
You're on a roll right now. So.
No, I'm leaving it at 3. Oh yeah, right. You can't get it. You can't even get in the Hall of Fame, let alone Rookie of the Year.
But James Wood, the 2 that came out to me, and shout out to my guy. Who was it? I think it was Saves Willis is a buddy of mine, and he was the first person to point it out to me in a Discord chat. He said he got the Ben Rice, and he's like, Ben Rice isn't even eligible. So Ben Rice and James Wood were the first 2 that popped in my mind that were big. Can you give me some other ones? Give me the teams. Do you have the 8 right in front of you?
I don't have the 8 in front of me. I just remember seeing it was 8. We'll have to jump on the Google machine here in a second and do that and see. But let me ask you, Cary, what do you think? Why do you think this happened? I mean, do you think that's just Topps not paying attention? Do you just think that it was not them following through, that this was planned out way in advance, that they had no idea there? I mean, where do you think they dropped the ball on this?
This is conjecture, right? So who knows? But I think they probably just didn't realize. They didn't do the research deep enough, is my guess, allegedly. But who knows? I mean, it could have been a great plan to get us to talk about it. Who knows? Maybe it's great viral marketing.
But this is the other thing too that's crazy. So, and a lot of people, shout out to everybody who commented last week, and shout out to all the Spotifyers. I'm still waiting for comments from you guys.
I knew that was coming.
But people pointed out that the tier system, okay? So if you win Rookie of the Year, you cash it in for this amount. If they win an MVP, you cash it in for that amount. If they win multiple MVPs, you cash it in for that amount. I think Cy Young too. And then if they get to the Hall of Fame, right, you can cash it in for more Fanatics bucks, okay? The thing that we missed when we were talking about it last week is that in order to be eligible for the upper tiers, they have to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So it's only going to be one. It's only going to be 2, possibly, because 2 people, one from the AL, one from the NL, that are going to move on to be eligible for the next tiers. So that's so stupid.
Yeah, I think
especially if you're giving us 8 guys who can't even win Rookie of the Year. So now you're down those 8. You can already, which most likely. It's just, it's so weird. They like, when I really started breaking it down, I was like, I messaged these guys and I said, this is bad. I don't like this. This doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
No,
could you imagine the person who holds on to one of these, right? The guy wins the Rookie of the Year, right? Everything gets all the way to the Hall of Fame. He cashes it in for Fanatics bucks in 25 years. Gets the 1 box that's digitally downloaded to his brain or whatever the heck's available, whatever the robots will allow. And then, all he gets is like a Ben Greaves the 5th, autograph, and that's it. So he waited 25 years and he didn't get anything. Isn't that they're just going to get a box, open it, and it's not going to be nearly the value.
Well,
right?
Here's
More
the
than
crazy thing: is
allegedly.
once they retire, they have 5 years before they're eligible for the Hall of Fame.
Don't they have to get in on the first try too? Isn't that another stipulation?
Oh,
of
maybe
the
I don't know.
program?
I didn't even get that far, but I'm just saying is like just think about that. If someone has it,
They
there's
have to be
people that have
first
had
ballot
a 15...
too. Goodness gracious, that's not compelling. Like $1,000 for a 25-year wait on a. That's just.
There's, I mean, just think about it. There's some players that paid. I mean, it's common for people to play 15 to 20 years. I mean, the top echelon that would consider that. I mean, we have been many people that have hit those numbers over the years. And another 5 years on top of that. You're right, though. I mean, think about the Cary. You would be in your 60s before you can actually turn that one in. That's insane for me to say that out loud.
Exactly. I'm already acting. Yeah, I'm already acting like the old guy at a card show. Imagine me in my 60s. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to be yelling. That's all I'm going to be doing.
That means that you would have to make sure that card's in a safe place for 20 plus years to be able to.
I'd lose it 17 times before then. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Who is in control of Leaf 25 years? Think of all these companies. Are they going to be at the helm in 25 years? The same group of people? I mean, are they going to honor it in 25 years? There's a lot of things I have questions about.
I mean, Bowman and Top's been around for
Bowman and Top's has, yes.
years.
Is Jacob Wilson not eligible? If he might be one of the people that aren't eligible for Rookie of the Year.
Allegedly on everything I say.
I don't know, but I feel like he played a good amount last year.
Yeah, there was what I saw in the post I saw. It said there was 8. I can't find the actual post. Maybe it was a video I saw that, but it said there was 8 out of the 35 that were not eligible for it. So I thought it was nuts just to even say it out loud on top of what they're doing. So honestly, I think it's a great promotion to do. I think it was just poorly executed. Tops need to retract their statement and say that since there's 20% of the 8 into 35 is almost 20%, close to 20% of the cards are ineligible for this promotion. So what Tops need to do is retract the must win the Rookie of the Year just to make it more flexible for everyone who actually gets these cards. Going forward.
It's interesting. So it looks like they've so there's a website, ripped.tops.com, and it goes through it. I think I'm starting to see the asterisks next to all players with an asterisk before their names are ineligible to win Rookie of the Year. Oof, that's so bad.
And there's big names though on that list.
Drew Thorpe. So Jacob Wilson is eligible. So I'd bet that Jacob Wilson is probably the most expensive, maybe Roki, most expensive value on those cards. I don't know because he's second in the American League in batting average right now behind Aaron Judge.
He's been consistent too. I mean, he hasn't had any big dips or anything.
So Drew Thorpe is one. James Wood is another.
Yep. Ben Rice is another one.
Ben Rice is another one. David Festa, right-handed pitcher for the Twins.
I was thinking about going all in on Festa, so this is good to know.
Brooks Lee, also for the Twins. So they have 2. Spencer Schwallenbach for the Braves. Yokenzie Noel for the Guardians. Jeez, this is crazy that there's this many people.
Yeah. Nuts, man. I could not.
Well, then those should be automatically. They shouldn't have to have that Rookie of the Year. So if they get an MVP or whatever in the future, I would say the only way to solve that is that they don't need that Rookie of the Year to be eligible for the other things since they can't get it.
Yeah,
that'd be how you fix it, right?
Yeah, I don't know how you fix this, man. It's just
what are the odds that somebody wins Rookie of the Year and doesn't even have one of those?
That's another thing too.
Wild.
But I think, if I'm not mistaken, when they release other product, I think they may continue this in the future products too, other releases throughout the year. That's what I heard. I don't know how true that is for people who get called up, people that may not have been cards in the first Bowman series, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens that. But
nice try, Tops.
Well,
Tops, get him next time.
Yeah. Well, speaking about Tops dropping the ball again, on the same day they released Bowman, they also released Vfriends. And a lot of people are saying that Topps really dropped the ball because they did not anticipate the amount of demand those cards are going to have. And those things have sold out everywhere. They're selling for 3 to 4 times on the secondary market right now. I got myself a blaster box at GameStop. And not to mention, I went to 3 separate GameStops. 2 of them had no idea what Vfriends were. I even went to their website and said, hey, look, GameStop on your website. Oh, I don't know what that is. That's our website? I don't think one of them even knew that was actually their own website.
I don't even know where GameStop exists where I live.
But I tell you, here's a crazy thing, man. If you look at the the numbers for GameStop, they sold $100 million the last quarter in collectibles. That just goes to show you the power of how they're turning around GameStop stock and turn around that business, because they're incorporating Pokemon cards, PSA grading,
the Barnes and
sports
Noble
cards.
model, right? Like, let's stop focusing on games and books and let's start focusing on toys and cards and collectibles and toys and all that.
What do you always tell us in reselling? What do you need to do, Cary?
Adjust and adapt. That's my original saying. Cary says it, and he's more popular than me.
Yeah, I don't say.
I'm sure you created that. Tim.
I don't say. Yeah, I don't say the adjust part because objectively it's stupid. But the adapt part, I do say. Because isn't it like the same thing twice, bro? Adjust and adapt. You could just say adapt or adjust, and it covers both. Correct.
Well, adjust and adapt sounds more like coach talk, though.
It does. I will give you this because I don't remember. I'm sure I got it from you at some point or somebody. It's not an original thought. I don't have many thoughts, let alone original ones. So
I'm pretty sure that's from the same episode as Murano Crackpipe.
Was it that maybe that's where I got it?
Oh, maybe that's where you got it. There we go. That makes more sense. But no, this big shout out to Midwest Breaks on the District platform. There, they actually had Gary V on their live doing an actual break, and they pulled a 101 very, very, very black cat card, sketch awesome. Card. It's, I think some people said anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 card. They pulled that live in their stream. And the worst part is Gary just left, and then they pulled that card like 5 or 10 minutes later.
The spot sold for $125.
$125, man. And the guy.
What's crazy is we were talking about it. We were like, we were like, why is this one going for so much money? And
so what I didn't consider was that I forgot there was all the different colored eyes. And it was a short print card, but then they were even more short print based on the color of the eyes. So that's why it was so popular. And the guy's like, oh, it was a steal for $125. And I was like, really? And then I started doing research. I'm like, man, he stole that. And I probably watched them pull 3 or 4 very, very black cats during that.
Variations, too.
Variations of that. And the purple one they pulled was a $250 card. They pulled a couple other ones. So that guy, whoever had that spot, that guy banked right there. But well, I mean, what's your thoughts on the Vfriends? Do you think this is something going to be? And for those who don't know, Vfriends is Gary Vaynerchuk, who's an entrepreneur. It's his version of Pokemon. What he's trying to do, he's trying to be the new Walt Disney, Jim Henson, as he calls it. The new Pokemon is his own IP or characters he created. They have a comic book that was sold on Whatnot. They have a cartoon that's on YouTube right now. But they originally started as an NFT, and now it's branching out to other things. They've done collabs with Mattel with Masters of the Universe with Vfriends, and this is his thing that he's banking on for the next 30 years. Is going to be a very popular thing. So with that being said, Tim, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm a big Gary V guy, so I like to put that out there first because I think it's important for transparency purposes. I've been a follower of him for many, many, many years before he, blew up and before, I got back into cards and all that stuff. So I'm a little biased. I think it's fantastic. I mean, like, there's obviously a demand for it, and I think it's an interesting concept too. Like it falls in line with his brand, which is important, and the way that he's producing this, this whole universe is something that can be bought by kids, bought by adults. So it's like you're hitting that market of Pokemon right there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. I will tell you that there is a lot of backlash of Gary V in as pockets of the hobby community, which I don't personally understand. I got into a couple of debates with people on Twitter, and nobody seems to give me any detailed responses. They're just like, "Oh, he's a grifter," and you're just it's a Ponzi scheme, and you're just a pawn, and you're under his spell. Somebody told me. I was like, "What are you guys talking about?"
So, do you know the backstory to that? Why people say that? Because when Gary V first started getting back into cards, so Gary V is a lot like us. He started out going to garage sales, thrift stores, buying stuff to flip online, and then he would set up card shows when he was a teenager, and that was his first love, flipping sports cards and stuff. And throughout the years, he's got in and out of the sport. But right before the pandemic, he started getting back into buying cards and started going to eBay and stuff like that. And then he would put out and let people know everything he was buying. And then when that card would go up, because everyone was following his advice, people accused him of pump and dumping. That's what the biggest thing was. Oh, you're putting these up so you can dump them. And then he goes, listen, I don't sell anything. You look at my history of my accounts here. He's like, I'm not trying to pump and dump. So that's why he actually came out and made a statement. He goes, I'm not going to let people know what I'm buying sports card wise anymore because I don't want people to think I'm trying to pump and dump or anything along those lines. So that's kind of where a lot of it came from originally. But also, too, as you get that popular and that big, people are going to hate you just for the hate you.
Yeah, there's a lot of other people
yeah.
I think that we can direct our hate towards besides Gary V. Just
exactly.
want to throw that out there. Let's be a little more
100%.
constructive with our hate.
Like Cary. That's all hate. American Arbitrage. Please, in the comments down below,
man.
let him know
If you
how
go
much you
check
hate
out-
him right now.
Yeah, Facebook does not like me at all.
Why?
No, just anything I post on. Well, Facebook is interesting when you, especially with shorts, compared to every other place. It's a lot of just people looking to hate on stuff. I feel like a little bit more.
Even more than
there's a lot of nice
TikTok?
people too, but like the people who comment are typically like, "This product sucks. This is garbage. Get a job." That kind of stuff. Lots of that.
Where do you get your Facebook comments sent to?
It's on Facebook, and then and then I get notifications.
Do you have a
where do you get
business
them? Do you
page
get,
or
like-
do you have a fan page?
I have a business page. Yeah, well, I have like several pages, but yeah, they're business pages.
So they have to be business.
I don't think so. I don't think they have to be business pages for you to get your comments.
What about
You can
Dave and
just go
Kevin? Do
look
they
at
have business
Facebook.
pages or fan pages?
Good
They
question. I
have
don't know.
Business
That's probably
ones.
big.
I mean,
Good question for those.
I
two.
have. Yeah, no, I have.
just saying.
No, I have professional details on both of my pages, so they would be what Facebook would consider business pages. Yeah, and same with Instagram.
So, Cary,
And
do
then
you
they-
get more, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
ahead,
interrupt you. No, do you get more hate on your TikTok videos or on your Facebook? Because
Facebook.
most hate Facebook really over TikTok. That's
Facebook
interesting
is
to
the
me.
most. Gosh, I'm trying to use my words
Toxic?
carefully here. Yeah, it's weird. There's just a lot of people bored there. I feel like, I feel like TikTok, you go on purpose to go scroll through videos, and then Facebook, you're just on Facebook, I don't know, like trying to see what happened when your 20th, high school anniversary is or whatever. And then you just get these videos fed to you, and you're not always happy with them. And the funny thing to me is I used to get a lot of hate with the going to yard sales and finding stuff to flip, which I guess I understand their angle. They think, these people have valuable stuff, which they may or may not. And I'm just putting them in the right place to sell them, and they're not selling them themselves. So that's where I'm making the money. But they think, that somehow we're scamming them because they're not getting the top dollar, which doesn't make sense. But with me just opening boxes and just I don't really talk too much about anything in particular, and they still kind of get upset, especially with I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting when you do content.
It's funny you said that because when me and Tim were at the 100-mile sale, we were at a garage sale, and he bought a stack of cards from the garage sale. And then I came behind him, and he went to go. He left his phone in another yard sale, and I decided to make a deal and buy all the guys' cards off the table. And I spent $180. And I posted the video up on a Friday. And let me tell you, the comments I get in this video, people are like, "Oh, you got such a good deal, man! You got ripped off. You ripped that guy off. Like you bought junk. Like it's just
everything,
everything all over the place."
I was reading them the other day.
Yeah, dude,
I had somebody yesterday told me, I think it was on Facebook, he just said, "This is a scam, everybody. He's making these videos to make money on the videos, and he needs to get a job." And I'm like, bro,
This is my job.
yeah, I mean, I sell the cards, the videos are monetized. You're correct on that, and this is my job. That's the cool thing about this. I don't see what I don't have to go work at Burger King and get a check from, John Quincy Burger King. I could just do this myself now. That's what the beauty of living in 2025 is.
Is that what the Burger King's name is? John Quincy?
Yeah, John Quincy Burger
King.
The king
Okay.
of burgers.
The
The
Earl
Earl
of
of Burgers.
That.
That was his uncle.
Okay.
That was my first job, was Burger King. Could you imagine? What do you think I was a good Burger King employee?
No.
I don't know, but I
was
love
actually
a
okay.
Whopper
People
right
like
now.
me.
Have you ever had the
Dude,
chicken
Whopper.
fries from Burger King?
Dude, I love Burger King to this day. There's like every time I see that hat, it looks like a Burger King hat to me.
You know, I pick up every time I find a Burger King crown, I wear them.
as you should. But like I worked there, I loved it. Like I was a big Burger King fan, and like I don't eat it anymore. But once a year, maybe once every 18 months, I just get this insane craving for a Whopper or something from Burger King, and then
Isn't the draft lottery tonight?
Yes, it is
for the NBA,
dude. This is the
Wizards
we've
or
never had
Jazz?
the first pick. The Jazz
No,
have
Sixers.
never had. No, shut up.
What?
Why do you need the first pick? You guys are going to waste it.
Well, I mean,
Develop your
he's
players.
not-
We
he's not
always
wrong.
develop our
He's-
players, but we just don't get number one overall pick. This is my only chance probably ever to get the number 1 pick because we're going to be in the championship game in 3 years max.
You have the same odds as we do.
25%, I think. Yeah. No, I think
No,
we're technically.
I thought we were
14%.
14%.
So
I
the
thought
Wizards,
we had the most,
Hornets,
but not by much.
No, the Jazz, Wizards, and the Hornets are all at 14%. Pelicans are at 12.5%. Phillies at 10.5%. Nets are at 9%. Raptors at 7.5%. Spurs are at 6%. Rockets are at 3.8%. Blazers at 3.7%. Mavericks at 1.8%. Bulls at 1.7%. Sacramento Kings at 0.8%. And the Spurs have a second opportunity via trade with the Hawks for a 0.7%.
Wow. So the one thing about being the worst team in the league, which was the Utah Jazz, is we're guaranteed not to be lower than 4 or 5. I think that's the
top
one.
five.
I think it's 5 or 6, right?
It's
top 5.
That would be brutal if we got. I mean, top 3. I mean, I really want Cooper Flagg, but Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, the kid. What's his name? Kaman out of Duke. There's some good players, In
So
the
there's
top 4 or 5.
there all 3 of us have our teams have a possibility at the number 1 pick.
But here's the thing: we should not be for potential number 1 pick. We were one of the favorites to win our conference this year.
Yeah, but you got Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. So
and Paul George, who just sucked the bed, man.
Who thought?
Horrible.
Did you guys think Tyrese Halliburton was just going to take over everything, the whole playoffs? That dude's. They just
beast. That's my guy. I've been talking about Tyrese Halliburton for a long time.
Yeah, some people said he was overrated or something. Then he just went to town after that.
Go back and look at that draft class. Tyrese Halliburton and Anthony Edwards and
solid.
And that's LaMelo Ball too, right?
Yeah, LaMelo's underrated at this point, in my opinion. I know he's not on a good team. Maybe he's more of a scorer than the guy that's going to lead a team through the playoffs. I don't know, but he's I think at this point even a little underrated.
Well, listen, since we're talking about the draft, let's talk about what Panini just signed. So Panini actually signed the Euro League basketball. They're going to start coming out with cards. So we talked about this a couple episodes ago, but what is Panini going to do once they lose the basketball licensing, which is in October?
They're going all in on Euro League.
But they might as well just make stickers. At this point.
But here's the thing. Think about this though. Out of the, I think
they've been doing Euro League though.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what they're going to be pushing now. But is that going to be a good play? Because if you look at the 2024 draft, out of the top 12 players picked, 5 of those were from the Euro League. So
yeah,
do you
but
think
none of them are ever going to see the basketball court stateside.
That may be true. That may be true. But I'm saying is going forward, I mean, one of these are bound to hit. So
we're going to have
be a good play.
Eastern European League Prism. I'm good. No thanks.
I mean, but Cary, you probably sell the most basketball both of us.
Dude,
actually, all of us here. So
I'll probably buy some of that because it's fun. Because that's the kind of product when I open it, people are going to have very derisive opinions about. But I kind of like it too. But as far as resale, anytime soon, it's going to be tough. You're going to hit some downtowns. They're going to definitely do if they can, like the Luka and Wemby thing. Because if they're in their Euro League uniforms, I wonder if that's a way around the licensing. I don't know.
Interesting. But, I didn't think about that.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a massive play. But also maybe this play isn't for us. Maybe it's for Europe. I mean, Panini is out of Italy. I mean, I know they produce, I think, their stuff in Dallas or whatever. I think, but it is a European country, so they might company. They might want to start selling more basketball cards in Europe. And Euro League is huge in Europe. So
I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank here. What are some other players from the past that played the Euro League that they could actually include in there? Maybe in their
Luka, Wembanyama.
Jokic.
There's a lot of guys.
Jokic.
I probably did.
Yeah.
I did Jokic. I don't even know if he was in the Euro.
Yeah, Jokic was playing professional basketball at 14
during the pandemic, and even a little bit after. I loved trying to find some of those guys that were Euro League MVPs. I was buying Vasinkov, hoping he would go off. He went back to the Euro League and played really well. There's Mikic, who's
shout out Jan Vesely.
Jan Vesely. There's a lot of guys. There might be an angle of paying attention to Euro League and getting some of this young guys and before they get drafted, and it's their their first Bowman maybe kind of vibe.
That's my thought process on this. I mean, kind of like we do with the football draft for Prism, because they do have NFL players, they have some rookies in there, but then they also have a lot of up and coming stars in there too, mixed in. So I thought that's kind of what maybe they were going to be doing with the EuroLeague cards.
I just sold.
Could be interesting.
This is a little aside, but I just sold one of my. I think I had a couple. I already sold one earlier, but I sold my Jared Curtis Leaf card for $30. I think I paid $5 or less because he just signed with the Tennessee. Who did he sign with? He signed with a big time college, Georgia. and he was a high school guy, and Leaf, had him in a product like for the last year. So that was kind of fun, just getting a top high school recruit and then selling him fairly quickly once he committed to a college team, which is interesting. Something we couldn't have done 5 years ago. So it's an interesting turn.
Speaking about fun, did you guys see that they finally put the Paul Skenes card on display in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I saw a picture of it.
You saw a picture.
Oh, well, listen,
here we go.
Yeah,
for those of you that are listening on Spotify and still have not
Describe
left a comment per my
There's a silhouette of a man pitching. I can only guess that's Paul Skenes. There's a number 30. This is for the audio listeners. Yeah. There's a number 30 with a silhouette of a baseball superimposed, I think is the technical term, over the 30. It says Paul Skenes debut. Massive frame and a tiny card. There you go. And then, imagine that, folks.
And underneath it, there's like a little, there's a pitcher's mount right underneath there with a fence. So you can't see it from the picture there, but yeah, they actually have a little
pitcher's And the copy reads, Skenes debut patch unveiled at Dick's.
It's exactly what that says.
Sports Card Investor. They're the ones who shared.
We'll give Sports Card Investor credit for that.
Shout them out.
I think they knew what they were doing when they put that headline on there. But I think it's a cool thing, man. I think it just adds to the whole.
You want to know the one part about it that makes it like possibly not cool?
What is that?
When he signs with the Yankees in 5 years?
Pittsburgh Pirates ruining all of this and dealing Paul Skenes away for 5 or 6, maybe 7 prospects that they'll, keep in their AAA system, bring up for a year, and then trade again. So, it's the Pirates stink too.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, they just fired their coach.
Well, Dick's Sporting Goods, to be fair, has locations all across the USA. They'll just take that somewhere else, right?
Yeah, they can
but it doesn't have the same significance if he's pitching in like a Dodgers uniform.
I don't know, man.
If they would sell
that's
it,
a good
they would
question.
sell it. They'd sell it.
By then, we'll be worried about whatever the new hyped product is anyway. So we
depends on what. I mean, depends on how he's pitching though too. If he's
can anybody even tell me what Paul Skenes' record is right now?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a pitcher, correct?
Yes. Well, he is. Gary's on a roll today.
Oh man,
sorry, I'm messing with you.
There's been 1,000.
I honestly have no idea. I've been following more hitter stats. Like
wow,
you're talking about Jacob Wilson's number 2 in batting average this year so far.
So 2024, he finished the season 11 wins, 3 losses with an ERA of 1.96. As far through the 2025 season, he's played 8 games with 3 wins, 4 losses, and an ERA at 2.77.
Dude, my A's are above 500.
That's an all-star ERA.
Yes, not the wins and losses though. 3 and 4.
Well,
that's not his fault. He
plays for the Pirates.
Plays for the Pirates. I fully understand that. I'm just saying
they stink. Last year, the Pirates were actually decent for a good amount of time. I don't know why they stink so bad now. They missed Jared Jones, who's another really good pitcher for them. They need to call up Bubba Chandler. If I was the Pirates, I'd call Bubba Chandler up and have him start pitching too.
Why don't you just call him up for him? Just get on the little phone machine and give him a call and say, hey, just show up.
What are the Rockies going to do? The Rockies stink too.
They're probably going to just dissolve, and they'll have the Savannah Bananas take their place. That's probably the best play at this point. The MLB could use that banana energy right now. It'll revitalize the game.
My buddy just got signed to the Bananas.
Did he really?
Yeah, but not as a player. He's one of the man bananas, like one of the dad bod guys. He's a wrestler, and they signed him.
They're called man bananas?
Yeah, that's the man bananas. And bro, they also have bananas.
I want to be a banana.
Yeah,
and
then
they
also have.
We should dress like that to the national.
I think what they call it, the Nam manas or whatever, which are they're like grandmothers.
Man-nanas?
Yeah, and they have nans that come out there.
Do they have to wear man hammocks?
They wear man hammocks, but a couple of guys have cut off.
They don't have to, but they're going to.
Yeah, but they all look like they have dad bods.
Is that what they call them, man hammocks, or they call them banana hammocks?
I mean, banana hammocks is I think the proper term.
I wouldn't know, man. I always am free as a bird, so I wouldn't have any clue what you folks are talking about.
Well, that is the worst visual you can give to our Spotify listeners.
No, Spotify. Imagine in detail.
Well, at least they can't see your face, so I guess it's not too bad for them too.
Yeah,
so
probably best.
They have
but
that
no,
for
the
them.
Rockies probably need to start calling people up. Veen's been playing well, right?
I don't know. He's like bad. I don't think he's playing too hot.
I think he went back down and started playing better. But I could be wrong.
Amador got called up.
Call up Brecht maybe. They need some pitching.
They need a lot of help, but it's tough.
Yeah, just accept a bad season.
Hunter Goodman's been playing pretty good. He's on my fantasy team.
There we go.
So this week, Tim, if you guys do not know this, Tim went live on Dibdit Cards, and he actually did a breakdown of what was happening with the Bowman cards.
We should have multicasted it.
Yeah, we should have.
Yes,
it would have been.
Cool.
I mean, honestly, it was a really in-depth, good thing to do, and he's gonna be doing more of these in the future. So I thought this would be a good question to ask Tim. So we're filming this on Monday. The podcast drops on Wednesday, but as we're filming this, Top Series 2 has dropped on the website there. So for the people that do not know, the checklist isn't out. In the previous years, is this a good product to pick up? Is this something we should look out for? What are your thoughts on this, Tim? I know the update's going to be coming out down the line as well. There's going to be some rookies here that are not in Series 1, but we don't have a checklist yet. So how do people go and invest in this not having a checklist?
Well, I think most people look at Series 1 and Series 2 and update as it's more of a hobby thing. Okay. Right,
like a continuation from it, pretty much.
No, like people who are not in this to make money.
Sure, well, that's what I'm saying.
Like a lot of people like Series 1 is a big deal because, and we've talked about this before, because it comes out like opening day, there's a lot of excitement, and it's more of like a father-son, father-daughter, mother-son, mother-daughter sort of rip than it is sports card investor guys. It's not like that sort of crazy jump. Like Topps Chrome will be completely different. You know what I'm saying? Topps Chrome is doesn't Topps Chrome come out before Series 2?
Series 2 actually drops on the 11th, which is 4 days before the All-Star game.
So when does Topps Chrome come out?
I know. Keep talking.
That's the real question right there. So I think some people get excited about Series 2, though, speculating who the rookies are going to be. So I will give you some names that are out there, guys who don't have Series 1. Sasaki, obviously, is going to have a rookie card. That's going to be a big chase. Luis Angel Acuna, who is having a fantastic year. He's been a guy I've been talking about for a long time, ever since he was with the Rangers in 2021. Then you got Kumar Rocker, speaking of the Rangers, who I think is on the injured list again right now. Thomas Segasi, who I absolutely love. Some people call him Sausage Fingers. He was another Texas Rangers prospect, now with the St. Louis Cardinals, who recently got called up and was playing well right out the gate. I don't know. I haven't checked in on his stats the last couple of weeks, but Jackson Jobe is one of the best young pitchers in baseball for the Detroit Tigers. Kevin Alcantara, who hasn't even been called up yet, I don't think, for the Chicago Cubs. He's a beast. I love him. Nick York, who plays for the Pittsburgh Pirates, was once a Red Sox prospect. The Pirates stink. Dustin Harris, who I really like, is a Texas Rangers prospect who got called up at the end of last year, but has been started the year off in AAA. He's another guy. Matt Shaw, maybe, because he made the roster, but then he got sent down because he just was not playing well to start the season. And Drake Baldwin, who also made the roster for the Atlanta Braves catcher. So those are a couple of names that are being thrown. And then Christian Campbell, obviously. Should get a Series 2 rookie.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's definitely some good information there for you. Cary, what about you, man? You like ripping the tops baseball?
Oh, yeah, man.
Rip at the tops.
I like to rip at the tops. Yes. Slap at a boss. My favorite, probably one of my favorite times of year period is when Top Series 1 comes out, without a doubt. It's one of my favorite things to go, buy, look for the blaster boxes and everything. I have not followed as closely Series 2's release date. It just kind of shows up on the shelves and then I pick it up. But this year I'm really into it. Baseball's kind of my jam at the moment.
I mean, I think the anticipation for Series 1 is, like you said, it's the kickoff of the year because it drops before the season starts. Season starts in April, so you're getting it before. It dropped in January, right? And in January, I thought Series 1. If I'm not mistaken.
When did it? I don't know. I'm not sure. It was after
it drops right before pitchers and catchers go, which is in middle of February. So I thought it was in end of January it dropped.
I
can't remember.
All right. Well, anyway, that's beside the point. But on the product, but Tim, I looked up for I don't see Topps Chrome baseball release date. The only thing I saw was Topps Chrome Black Baseball was released on
April
30th. Yeah, that was already released, but I didn't see a release date for
But the Topps Chrome Black was a 2024 product, right? With like Ellie rookies, or was that this year?
No, they have Topps Chrome Black baseball came out in the 30th.
No, but I'm saying, like, is it a product with last year's class or this year's?
Is it 2025 or 2024?
2025. And that's a picture of Dylan Cruz.
I didn't see any of that.
Yeah, I just went to I'm on the Beckett website, and it says at 25 release dates. It says 2025 Topps Chrome Black Baseball, April 30th, 2025 release date. But I haven't seen that anywhere.
While you're there, can you check and see how much my Chipper Jones rookie card is worth today?
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, yeah. Could you see if Todd Zeal's still in the hot list?
Somebody mentioned Kevin Bass in the comment sections.
Dude. We want more. We want more obscure. Guys, put your most obscure. Let's do baseball. Most obscure baseball guy that you collected or you thought was going to be a big deal when you were a kid. I don't care what era it was. Put them down below. I think that'd be
Mine was Ryan Klesko.
Yeah, we talked about Ryan
Klesko was a big one.
He was a big deal, man. I collected a lot of Klesko because my neighbor collected Braves cards. So I kept getting trying to get all the Braves stuff. So I would pick those up to trade them because he was a hot prospect at the time. So I can get Frank Thomas cards back in the day. But how about you, Tim? What prospect did you go after?
Well, listen, I'm going to give you, because I gave you Jeffrey Hammonds last week. I'm going to give you a name right now who I believe, I'll give you a couple of names of guys who are super underrated and should have more value in the hobby.
Current players or previous players?
Previous players.
Okay.
Carlos Delgado.
Yes.
Oh,
100%.
yeah, dude. 100%.
Carlos Delgado was a beast.
Dude, he was. Okay.
What about Dontrell Willis?
Oh, yeah, that's another good one.
And I'll give you another one. Also played with the Marlins. Super underrated. I really liked watching him play. He didn't play long, though. Charles Johnson.
Oh, yeah, the
catcher.
I love that. Yeah, dude, he was a big deal for a few years there. I'll give you some from that era. Pat Burrell. I remember these guys a lot, like Pat Burrell, J.D. Drew.
Yeah, J.D. Drew was a huge prospect.
We do not say his name on this podcast at all. Let me tell you, I hate J.D. Drew. When an absolute, he was drafted by the Phillies, second pick overall in 1997. Decided that they wanted $10 million to go play for the Phillies. Phillies refused to play an unproven player $10 million. So they found Scott Boras, I think was his agent. They found a loophole in the contract in that he can go play like independent ball and then re-enter the draft in 1998. And that's when he signed they got drafted by the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals, and they paid him they only paid him $7 million. So he still didn't get his $10 million, even though he sat out an entire year. And then when he came to Philly, he was so worried about coming to Philly, he actually, during batting practice, he swapped his jersey with another player so that he could do batting practice with that. Because when he was in the outfield, the Philly fans threw D-sized batteries at him because his name's J.D. Drew. So I hate him with a passion right now.
Great work there, Phillies fans.
Yes. We're damn proud of that, bro. I'm rocking my Philly shirt right now. Screw you, J.D. Drew. I know you're listening, J.D.
I'll give you two more because I'm an A's guy. Ben Greaves was a big deal.
Oh, that's another one.
Ooh, I got one.
And a guy who actually panned out that's super underrated, Miguel Tejada.
Yeah. What about Eric Chavez?
Yeah, Ooh, Chavez, dude. And then you can go the pitchers. You got Barry Zito, Tim Hudson, who played a long time with the Braves. They had a good squad back then, Moneyball era.
Tim Salmon. That's another one.
Yes, that's a great. I'm from SoCal
Jim
originally.
Edmonds.
Oh, Jim
Edmonds. Snow was a California.
JT
Snow. That's a good one.
That's a good one there, man. Yeah. So
let's just say names for the next hour. Let's do it.
I mean,
how often would that be?
Bobby Bonilla.
We put out like a 10-minute YouTube video, and it was nothing but us just going back and forth with
Chris
names.
Goggles Sabo.
Mike Devereaux.
Mike Devereaux. I'm not joking. I got another 45 minutes.
I'm cutting this off
Benito
right now.
Santiago.
Oh, yeah, Benny Santiago, dude.
All right.
Let's just
guys,
only do catchers from
Sandy
the podcast.
Alomar.
Oh, yeah, Roberto Alomar. Keep it down, Rod. We're doing something here, dude.
No.
Rick Sutcliffe.
You guys are the shits. You know that right now?
Bruce Sutter.
I hate you both with a passion. I just hate. Much hate. But what I don't hate is what's going to happen tonight on Dibdit Cards. Tim is going live at 9 o'clock. We're doing a break for our first Bowman break. Not 3, not 5, but 4 blasters, all right? Could throw out the 4 horsemen sign, right? The 4 horsemen there. But Cary will be live early in the night.
Well, I feel weird doing it like this.
I'll be 7 to 9.
Like that.
I'll be 7 to 9 leading in.
Yeah, so I hope you do that. We have a little Ray train going starting at 5, I think, with Dan the Man and Keith from Over the Air Sports. And then speaking about
wait.
Oh yeah,
Keith from over
Vintage
here
Sports Flips. Sorry,
I didn't
bro.
know I hired
I'm
him.
sorry, I was reading your name as I was talking.
No, it's Tim from Vintage Sports Flips that will be on.
Yes,
Keith from over
that's
here sports.
God.
Gosh,
Anyway, so speaking about Keith, he's
you
gonna
need
be
to
doing
get it
a
together,
break.
man.
I know, bro. You guys are just a hot mess express over here. But Keith is going live on Thursday night doing a football break, and then I'll be going live on Sunday night doing a Marvel break. So we're trying something a little bit different on the site, guys. Come, please go check it out. We have it up where you guys can just, everything starts at $1, and you guys can just go bid on your team or go bid on your characters for Marvel, whatever you guys want to do. But we hope to see you guys there. So that brings us to the main topic of the day, guys. And this is something that I know is going to be very controversial. We're going to get a lot of people that are going to probably be in the comments, and we want to hear from each and every one of you guys out here listening. But are digital sports cards the future of sports card collecting? And I think this is moving that direction. Topps announced this week that they're dropping the 2025 Topps Bunt digital cards. They also announced they're dropping the 2025 Star Wars cards digitally this month. We have Arena Clubs doing repacks digitally. We have Upper Deck doing e-packs. We had the blockchain from Panini has been doing the last couple of years. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. So my question to you guys is this the future of sports card collecting?
I will tell you this. I will tell you this before Tim says something. One thing that Topps Bunt does is constantly mess with you on eBay when you look for lowest available, price or whatever, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's an RPA or whatever, that dude, and it's like $3. It's always a digital Topps Bunt, which you can't even technically sell on eBay. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, it's annoying, Top Bunt. But I was into it for years and years. It's been around for a decade, right? Topps Bunt, at least.
It's been around for a while.
Like a long time.
I don't know, a decade, but I know it's been around for quite some time.
It's been along since before the pandemic. It was I was into it. It was a lot of fun.
So explain us how it works then. I mean, did you buy some yourself?
Oh no, dude! They just
Okay.
like you get points. You could get points, and then you can just get free packs and stuff. And then
So
you
you
open them, and then you can trade them, and you can buy. They have like an auction house within the app where you could buy, obviously, if you want. It's like a video game, so there's like a free to play aspect to it. But really, if you want the cool collection, you got to spend money, kind of deal. I've never been into the spending money part of it for sure, but that's just me.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, you think this is something that could be sustainable going forward? Do you think,
I think
that
it's going to be around. I think if it was going to be a big deal, it would have been a big deal by now with Topps at least, unless they rehaul it or retool it or do something different with it, like the blockchain, which we're going to talk about, Panini, which is what they do. I think it's just a fun app game. I don't think I think it's already here. I don't know if it's a big part of anything growing in the future. What do you think, Tim?
Is it the future? No, absolutely no way. Is it
the
a part
present?
of the future? Yes. Oh, is it present? Yeah. Well,
And it was in
this
the
is
past.
the problem. I was an NFT guy. I am an NFT guy, right?
Do you own any NFTs? Or you just
Yeah.
you're in?
Oh,
you
yeah.
do.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. So like I was early on to NFTs, and I've helped some individuals make some significant money with NFTs, right?
Do you think
But-
you can kind of explain to the audience that don't know exactly the process of what an NFT is? Or
So an NFT is a non-fungible token, okay? It's or also a digital collectible, which is on the blockchain. Now, what happened was, like most things with human beings, they ruin it. Like
We get greedy.
Humans ruin everything. So NFTs got ruined by the greedy humans and people doing what do they call them? Carpet pulls and
Carpet pulls? Is that a term?
yeah. Like pull the rug.
Pull the rug out from under you.
pullers.
All right, rug pullers. All right.
And pump and dumps and stuff like that, and it just got ruined. But I was enamored by the prospect of the technology. I thought that it was super fascinating, the whole concept of blockchain. And we're moving rapidly towards a digital world, right? So it made sense to me to have digital collectibles, right? And I'm always one of those guys where I understand the power of the cardboard, okay? So like I always try to tell, like that was the early conversation that people had was, are NFTs going to replace cards? And I said from the beginning, no, that's not. I don't think that the goal was ever to replace cards. Just like when people said, "Is Dibdit Cards going to replace eBay?" And I told people, I said, "No, I don't. It's not going to replace eBay, but it's going to live selling is a part of the future."
Who asked you this? This is awesome.
No one asked him this. He's literally making the story up right now.
Wait, let me ask. So we can make it real. Is Dibdit Cards going to replace eBay?
I listen.
There it happens.
It's for
play this part before what he just said.
Yeah. No, because what the real question was originally is what not going to replace eBay? And I told people from the beginning that they weren't trying to replace eBay. That it's completely different. It's the same thing with digital cards, right? Like there's a market for it. I think there's a lot of people out there, who are tech gods and they love like that sort of aspect of it, But like the nostalgic feel of cards, like people still we live in a world that's technologically advanced, right? But people still love the aspect of being able to hold things.
I think of Barnes and Noble a lot when we talk about this, because if you went into a Barnes and Noble 10 years ago, it was Nooks everywhere. Half the Barnes and Noble were Nooks. They were desperate. I don't know if it was desperate. It was
Nooks?
working. The Nooks were like the Kindles. They were the digital books, right? The ebooks, and because they thought they were going out of business at that time, or at least it felt like that, and they had to go digital because nobody wanted the physical books. And 10 years later, I'm not even sure if you can get Nooks at every location. Like they definitely don't have a big section in the middle of the store like they used to, and it's heavily collectible. And there's like a bit of a resurgence for the physical book. Culturally, people want that tactile thing. So I think realistically it's going to be a part of the future. I don't think it is the future, though. I think there's going to, as culture changes, as younger generations come in that aren't millennials like us, that might want the tactile stuff and they're more used to digital stuff, I think it'll get bigger, but I don't think it will replace
the biggest the thing that's interesting is there a difference between like digital cards and NFTs, right? Because I know that, in my opinion, that they need to rebrand NFTs because now there's a sour taste in everybody's mouth when they hear that acronym. So they need to, if they want to resurge NFTs, eventually they're going to have to rebrand the NFT as a whole. But there has to be a difference between a digital card and an NFT. The big thing always with what NFTs is that you needed to have something linked to it that was, functionality, right? Like, okay, if you have this NFT, you can, like NBA Top Shot, I was big Top Shot guy, right? I still have Top Shots. I've sold plenty of Top Shots. And when at the peak of that, people were paying 6-7 figures for some of those things, right? But like they really...
Is that still around?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
They have WNBA Top Shot.
Dude, they were, I don't think they're there anymore, but they were at card shows back a couple years back. You'd see NBA Top Shot. I don't think I've seen them recently though, but
because you should have, they really dropped the ball because they were in beta for so long. They really dropped the ball with the functionality aspect of owning one. Like if you were partnered with NBA and you own this Top Shot, you can get into suite level at a basketball game, right? Like stuff like that. Like there needs to be a functionality linked with the digital collectible to make it.
What Gary V did, right, with the VCon tickets.
Yeah.
Like they were NFTs, but they were tickets as well.
The NBA Top Shop thing, is that the one where it's just a digital card, or is that like they're taking clips of
the
like,
clips? They're called moments. But
moments, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So you own the actual moment from the game. And a lot of people are going to complain and say, oh, well, I can just go on YouTube and copy it.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. It's like, oh, I could just screenshot your Bored Ape or your, Punk and I can have it. And
which is true, but I can also get a copy of the Mona Lisa.
But people uninformed people saying things.
That's correct. But I'm saying is like if I use the example of the Mona Lisa painting, like that painting's worth 90 million or 100 million, whatever it's worth. But I can take a picture of it and still have it on my phone. That doesn't mean that picture I have is going to be worth anything. Yeah. It's the original digital art.
Here's the thing: you take that picture of the Mona Lisa, you get some duct tape, you go to a museum, and you tape that picture on the wall at the museum. Then it's art, and then you sell it. You got to be thinking ahead, man.
Banksy style, baby.
Banksy style, bro.
Banksy style, yeah. But so here's my take. I think the digital card market is going to be a lot bigger than what we think, because when I'm very good at predicting markets when in like the comic book world and the entertainment world, because I follow the news, follow that stuff. But one thing that I also use to help determine what's going to be happening next down the line is I have a stepson that's 15 years old. I look at his generation, what his friends are doing, how they're growing up, so that when Madden football comes out, he's not asking me to take him to GameStop, wait in line at midnight to get it. He wants the instant gratification of going online, his PS5, buying the game, and downloading it right to his thing. He doesn't even ask for discs anymore. He will buy everything digitally. All his friends are buying everything digitally. So they're growing up. The next generation before us of card collectors coming up in the next 5-10 years are buying stuff digitally, and that's what they're used to doing. So I honestly think because of that reason, related to sports, sporting, video games, stuff like that the digital aspect is going to be a lot bigger than what we expect, just based on the actions of the generation before us and how they are buying their entertainment right now. Not to mention, you add the whole gambling aspect of people like to buy the mystery, like they buy the breaks, you're buying boxes to be sent to your house. That's a long process. How awesome would it be just to go online, click a button, no different than going to a casino and playing digital poker, and click a button and get open packs instantly.
I mean,
so
that would alleviate one of the biggest things right there, is the waiting. And
correct.
But there's how much fun is that really, though?
Yeah, not to us, but you're right, to 15-year-olds right now.
Correct.
That's the thing. Like millennials right now, I think a lot of us really set the tone in the card market because we have come of age and we have money now, right? We didn't have as much for 20. You know what I mean? But we have I agree with you. I know what you mean, but like we can set the tone a little bit, but in 15 years, 20 years when they're our age, the 15-year-olds. It might really be, I think you make a good point there, Rod.
I mean, when you're trying to foreshadow a market, you're not looking at what the current generation is doing. You're looking at the generation that's coming behind you and what they're into, what their actions of what they're getting there, how they're getting their entertainment, what are they doing, and if you watch everything they're doing, it's all digital. They're born with cell phones in their hand. I didn't get a cell phone till I was in high school. These guys, I had to go to a store to physically buy that video game. Come home, I sat in the back of my parents' car, opened up the box, read that manual, that game, because I was so excited to get home and put it in and do that.
You get your game genie and you cheat. That's what you do.
But like my stepson, he'll literally wait till midnight, download the game, and start playing right away with his friends right away. No waiting in line. You don't have to go through that entire process. The barriers of entry are completely removed. So I'm just saying is like it may not be for us or our generation, but I'm just saying is the generation behind us could be more appealing.
I understand all of that, and which is why I saw value in NFTs when they first came out, because I thought about the future, right? The problem is because of human beings being human beings and being scumbags and scammers, right? They pushed all of that work that was done in that market was erased by all the negative things that happened. So all of that hard work and moving forward is now they have to rebuild all of that. So now it's like you have to wait. You might have to wait for an entire generation to get the sour taste out of their mouth of digital collectibles before you get a new generation in that accepts it and finds a way to get it done properly. That's the problem. We might not be talking about the future. We might be talking about the future's future.
Okay. It's a good point to that. I mean, there was a lot of sour taste in people's mouth, but I think also too, people have a tendency to forget sooner than later.
Ooh, good point. Very good point.
That's also too. So
there also could be some things where they, have more security and stuff and more trusted people making these things where they feel comfortable.
I'll give you something right now. Let's play a little game. Okay. 3 hours ago, this Panini, we don't even know what they call them, Panini blockchain card, sold 3 hours ago. Tom Brady Kaboom. What do you think it sold for in USD?
What year is the card?
It's a blockchain. I don't think they have years.
Don't they have releases for like each year?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I know that
$600.
Okay, here it is. I think it's 2021 Absolute Kaboom.
Okay.
So Buccaneers.
So that changes it. I changed my number to $610.
I think it sold for
probably more though.
$1,500.
2,000 collect bucks. Or wait, no, Fanatics cash.
Panini points.
Yes.
Panini points.
Cary is actually closest. It sold for $675 3 hours ago.
I just thought because Tom Brady would be worth more, but that's interesting.
But here's the thing, like this is interesting with people always talking about buying vintage, right? But nobody our age, maybe our age because our parents and grandparents talked about Mickey Mantle and everybody, nobody really has a connection with those people. Mickey Mantle died, when we were little kids, I feel like, right? And think about like in the collectible space, the space that we're in also. Everybody, like my mom, she was into Gene Autry. Howdy Doody. My mom's 83. That stuff, once the generation leaves, that stuff's just not going to be as collectible. So with time, maybe this Tom Brady stuff for now, because millennials and we all grew up with Tom Brady, but in 20, 30, 40 years, who knows where this stuff's going to be. So maybe it won't be as much as we think, or maybe it will. I don't know.
You make a good point, though, because like my dad's generation will be, would probably worship Wilt Chamberlain. Our generation had Michael Jordan. My stepson's generation had LeBron James. But there's like a 20-year swing in those generations where you're going to have those 20 years where people do it before that next superstar comes about. Yeah, there's going to
be a lot of people in 10 years probably saying, Anthony Edwards is better than Jordan. If he continues at this pace, better than Jordan and better than LeBron if he wins some titles. And we may be, you guys didn't see Jordan. You don't know what you're talking about. And the LeBron guys will be like, yeah, nobody's like LeBron. It's just the tale as old as time.
All right, Anthony Edwards is Michael Jordan's son. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's true.
It is kind of like watching Jordan.
Allegedly, yes. Allegedly. We can put allegedly there. But
we have to.
Going back to what you said earlier, it said that there's nothing attached to these digital cards. So what about Arena Club? Arena Club's doing, for people who don't know,
but those aren't digital cards.
But they're doing digital openings on their website.
Yeah, but they're not digital cards.
But I get that. But my point is, could we have a hybrid model going forward where we, instead of buying the packs of cards, like I've just pre-ordered a bunch of Series 2 tops, right, baseball before the show started. I have to wait to get those in the mail. But imagine if I literally went to a website, I opened them up, and then if I want the card sent to me, I just hit a button to have it sent to me. That's what Arena Club's doing. They do mystery packs where you can literally buy the thing. Say you pay, and by the way, they're not sponsoring us. They should, but they're not sponsoring us here with what that we're talking about them, just so people know. But let's just say you buy a mystery pack for $500 on there, and then you get a card, and then you have the option to add it to your account or have it sent to you in the mail. Or they also give the option, which I think is brilliant. You can sell it directly back to them at like 90%. So they're already making 10% off the top based on that card just by doing a digital opening. And it's a fast way for people to do this. They're removing all the friction off from having to have it shipped to you and go through the whole process. We just click there and keep buying and going.
So it's basically a digital scratch off.
Pretty much. That's a good way to put it. A digital scratch off, man.
Literally. Yeah. It's the biggest. That is for degenerates, is what that's for.
And didn't you tell me you were thinking about buying one of those?
Yeah, I'm a degenerate.
Yeah, okay. I just want to put that out there so we're clear. I'm not the only degenerate on this podcast. I also have friends that are degenerates.
We're all degenerates.
Yeah, but that is a good point. When you remove all the friction in the buy and the chance to get 90% value back, I mean, I don't know. It just seems,
then you end up with a PSA 9.
You end up selling something.
No huddle.
You do it enough, right? You do it enough. You're at 90%. You pay that 90. You open another pack, and then you're at 80. You just keep going down, right? I mean, unless you hit that big one.
Unless you hit something, and then you.
That's always how it is when you're opening. Until I hit something, you got to hit that something. That's how many times I didn't hit something until I got that Caitlin Clark, and that was pure luck that I got that.
Yeah,
I mean.
Not the fact that they handed you a loaded pack and said, open this on camera so we can get all the views. But hey, it's tomato, you know?
Bro, I literally opened up two packs at the store with you two guys, and I didn't even hit a parallel. I had 2 packs of nothing but base cards out of Optic and Prism Football.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, me and Cary opened up the $60 hobby packs of Prism Draft,
yeah,
and then we opened one, and then he opened one, and then like we talked each other into opening more.
Well, there's 4 packs in a box. There's no way you open 2 and go, and we didn't get a big hit. We're like, let's just leave the other 2 and walk out. No.
Well, you did get you got the biggest hit of all.
Yeah, but it was in the second.
Have you listed that, Hutchinson? Yeah.
Yeah, I put it up super high.
How much you put it up for?
Like 150. Okay. It's a number to 5 black gold, I think is what they're called. Black, yellow, black, gold to 5. Yeah. It's like a color match, basically. It's black and yellow, so it looks great.
Yeah, it's a dope card.
So, Tim, do you like the concept of being able to open repacks? on
I
like
hate
digital
repacks.
Okay, but the Arena Club does it right. They actually give you a checklist and give you the odds, which no one else really does. So
nobody
that
looks at those.
No, but that is the way to do it if you're going to do it. You can go see, and then if a card is pulled, right, it's gone off there. And I don't know if they replace it or
they do
it's
replace
over.
it.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're going to do repacks, that's the way probably to do it.
What's the entry level for that? Like, is it $50?
$50 or something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, it's let me tell you, I have the itch. Like, I literally want to go to the website and just buy one and see what happens.
Do it right now on the podcast.
Should I do one right now?
Let's go.
I don't know. Let me go to the website, see if I can sign up for one right now. You guys keep talking.
Because I can't. Obviously, I don't have that money in my bank account right now, but.
My favorite thing is spending Rod's money as well.
Yeah.
Like we almost convinced Rod to get that Pop Century box for like $400. I'm like, I want to see it open, but I'm not spending that amount of money. How about you do it, Mister? I'm going to buy a case of Series 2 before the show on a whim.
I'm like in Walmart, like debating if I.
You are seriously flirting with losing your no bangers, badge here, dude. When you're constantly just dropping it like it's hot, you're spending that independent wrestler money. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem, right?
There's another one too. There's Arena Club, and then there's
what is that?
Courtyard?
Yeah, IO or something. Is it the same thing with Courtyard, like where it's a physical card and you're?
I believe so. Yeah, it's the same sort of concept. You know who did do this already? OBX Picker.
He did what?
He was opening up Arena Club.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hit me up about it. He's like, hey, you ever heard about this thing called Arena Club? And I was like, oh, Eric, what have you done? But yeah, I think he sold his back to them. Made some quick monies, which that's probably the best thing.
They sponsored me last year. I didn't really talk about the repacks because I didn't want to at that time. Later on, I thought I might, but I sent some cards in and got them graded and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Through them?
Yeah, because you can send cards into them and they'll, for the fee, at least that's what they were doing. I don't know if they changed business models. I think they still do it. And the Arena Club grades. And then you can put it in like their vault
but they're not
whatever.
PSA grades. They're Arena Club.
No, it's Arena Club grade.
Oh. Yeah. So what's that like? You like an Arena
So I initially,
like a PSA 5?
I ultimately got them back and sold them, and obviously you don't get the premium that you would on a PSA.
Interesting.
But I think they use Arena Club uses I don't want to speak out of school, but I think it's AI or something like more computer based, but I could be wrong.
They're grading cards with Chad's grading cards.
Yeah, Chad GPT.
Yeah. It won't let me use my username.
You could do that, right? Like I'm not. We shouldn't suggest. I don't suggest anybody do this. This is a bad idea. But you could put a card in and say like, "What do you think the grade is on ChatGPT?"
Shout out to my guy Jared. He was doing that on. I think it was Jared who was doing it on Twitter. It was quite fascinating. It's very inaccurate, so just in case anybody was wondering.
All right, I'm having trouble getting signed up.
It's okay. We'll save it for next episode.
We'll save it next episode.
We'll open up.
We're gonna tease it. We're gonna tease it.
Yeah, clickbait.
Hey, you want to see one pack open of Arena Clubs? Tune in next week. That doesn't get them. I don't know what will.
Any predictions on how your Bowman break's gonna go, man? You think you're gonna pull something good? Like,
I'm gonna say we pull an auto.
You pull an auto? Oh, interesting.
First auto pulled on a Dibdit Cards break.
Yeah, I didn't pull any autos of mine. No, Ivan pulled it, and he did pull an auto.
Did he?
Yeah.
He did.
He did when he opened the baseball. So
shout out Ivan.
I'm excited though, man. I am going to buy in probably to a couple teams. We'll see.
Bro, there's some team. Let me just tell y'all right now. I'm gonna. All
right. So how about this?
Give us that are here.
Yeah, for those that are here, give them a breakdown. What are some of the better teams that are still available at a very cheap rate?
Yeah, shout out to everybody who's still here at 1 hour and 8 minutes and 36 seconds and didn't leave a comment on Spotify already. This portion of the podcast is brought to you by www.dibditcards.com. Use code OTY for $5 off your first purchase, $10 or more. All right, so let's see where we are here. Let's go to. All right. Rod's like, don't say any of the teams I've bid on, but
no, it's fine.
I will tell you right now. Let's see. Let's sort this by ending soon. The Arizona Diamondbacks are currently at $1. They have one of the biggest prospect chases in the product at Slade Caldwell. So yeah, them being at $1 is crazy. Atlanta Braves at $1. I mean, they have Swallenbach red rookie cards you can get. That's definitely on the board. The Boston Red Sox are at $1. They have two of the biggest name prospects in the product. At the guy whose nickname is the Password, and then Franklin Arias. They're at $1. Let's see who else is
So
at
the Cubs are at the $8. So that was up.
Colorado Rockies have the cover boys of the product, and Charlie Condon, who is, by the way, I don't know what they call these inserts. The one that like has like the neon sign with their last name. You seen those
I don't
for
think
the
I've
new
seen
Bowman?
those. No.
I'm gonna try to. What do they call it?
Look at this.
It's a.
What? Thought I have one. Oh, I put it in the top load.
Put a top loader. They are. Are they the green ones you're referring to? The ones like from last year? Or they're different this year.
No. Those are the. They got rid of the Lunars and they have Reptilians, which look really nice, by the way.
Here's a dude.
Okay,
did I tell you
these
this?
ones.
I'll tell you something after. Go ahead.
Which one? Oh, hold on. Let me make you full screen.
See, I haven't seen those. Are those rare or?
No.
Here we go. You're full screen now. Let me see those. I thought I said condoms there for a second.
Exactly. That was the whole reason why I wanted to show you that. I'm like, who did? I'm like, look at this. It says Condoms Colorado Card Cave. Like, it sounds like it's like a strip.
Sounds like a place where you get vape and condoms.
Yeah.
So,
what kind of sex toys you selling over there, my friend? Like,
Here's a reptilian. If you guys want to see.
Hold on.
I want to tell you a story here. So I opened up this box that I got this Jacob Bresnahan on TikTok and everywhere else. And you know who comments on it? Freaking Jacob Bresnahan.
Oh, that's
really?
awesome.
Like, yeah, he's like, somebody's like, oh, he said something, nice, like cool rip, that was fire. And I said, yeah, awesome. And then somebody asked, I got a Jacob Bresnahan autograph in my box. Is he any good? And then he commented something like, yeah, I'd say so. I'm a little biased.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, Tigers they have Jace Young on the red rookie.
Did you see the game yesterday, by the way? Both brothers played.
Yeah, tic-tac-toe on third base side. That was pretty awesome.
That was cool, man. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams here that are still $1. The Oakland A's are at $3, which is crazy. Phillies are at $2. The Padres and the Giants. The Giants have Johnny Level, which is one of the best chases in the product also. They're at $1 right now. Where's the Milwaukee Brewers are at $3 with Jesus Made. And not even just Jesus Made. They also have Yofreni Rodriguez and I hope I said that
Luis,
right.
what's that guy's name?
Luis Pena.
Yeah.
Three of the biggest prospects in the product, and they're at $3 right now. And there's a lot of $1 teams right now, guys. So yeah.
But I mean, those they should pick up getting closer to the actual break. I mean, actually, the break's today as we're filming this. So, guys, go on to Dibdit Cards. At the very top of the homepage, you can see they're all listed there. You can go bid in your teams. All the auctions are going to end between 9 and 9:40, somewhere in that ballpark. Is that correct?
Between 9 and 9:35, I'd imagine.
Okay,
right?
and then
it's 1 minute every minute.
Yeah, every minute you have a staggered, and then from there you're going to go live right after the breaks are over. Oh, actually, when all the auctions are over, he's going to go live and do his.
I think I'm going to go live before then,
okay.
and I'm going to sell some singles.
Yeah, if you go, like, I'll be live till 9. You go live at 9 or whatever. I could raid into you. But what you could do, I believe, is put all of those into your live, and maybe you could put them like on the bottom of the live so people can bid live.
I don't know if you can do that with auctions. I know you can do it with buy it nows, but I don't think you can do it with auctions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Like,
I tried.
Really cool.
The other day, but it didn't work. Dibditcards.com.
I see the Dodgers are the highest right now at $13.
Yeah.
Which in the Yankees, I mean, Yankees Dodgers are always at the top of no matter what's being pulled. Nationals are at $7, so a lot of value, guys. A lot of value, and I've seen a lot of good rips, man, at the Bowman.
The blaster boxes are fire.
They're loaded.
Cary's killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so stoked to get that Hagen Smith 6 overall pick in 2023. Somebody was
Jersey
getting on
number
me about
match.
that in the comments. They're like, I didn't say I got a massive pull because it's not like worth a ton. It's not worth nothing. But I said I got a rare card, and everybody was giving me a hard time. I'm like, dude, it is rare to get a number match, especially out of a numbering to 299. People don't respect that enough. It's one thing.
And
to get
a number. There are people who open those blasters who get nothing.
Yeah, so a number to 299 is something you don't get in every blaster at all of any person, and then out of just I'd love to figure out the math of that. All the players, all the possibilities to get the exact jersey, especially like a random number like a 33. I thought it was cool. So
They just wanted you to have they thought you were gonna pull the anime.
Dude, I wish.
Dude, if we pulled the anime
animes
during the break,
Dude.
That would be awesome. So for those that are watching here on YouTube, go to the Dibdit Cards. Here's the page that you guys can look at and see all of his auctions are live there. So please go bid those. But I want to show you guys tomorrow on Thursday, Vintage Sports Flips is also doing one. And the cool thing is he's actually doing Optic Mega with a couple Optic Blasters. But he threw a pack in of 1989 score football on his break, which I thought was very interesting because you have you got a lot of rookies in there. You got Barry Sanders, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders, Derek Thomas. Like there's a lot of opportunities. So I thought that was kind of cool thing. He wanted to do that because Keith specializes in vintage cards. So he was like, I want to do something that's on brand. And I thought that was a very interesting thing to add to a break.
Imagine if you got the Lions and hit
Barry Sanders,
rookie card,
or,
and like a Amon-Ra
Benny Blades
downtown.
Benny Blades,
dude, he's a rookie.
You hit a Pete Marinovic. Oh no, he wasn't there yet.
Yeah, imagine you get the Green Bay Packers.
Are we playing the football version of this now?
No. Who's
we get Tony Mandrich?
Tony
Brian
Mandrich. That's what I was
Bosworth.
thinking. Brian Bosworth. Yeah.
Michael Westbrook.
Andre Ware, is he an 89 or is that 90?
Evans.
Ooh, actually, Heisman Trophy winner, 1989, Andre Ware.
What about
he's a
Peerless
90
Price?
score.
90.
You remember Peerless Price?
Oh yeah, Peerless Price, dude.
Wide receiver, Buffalo Bills.
One of my favorites from the mid 90s, Tim Biakabatuka.
Ooh, he was
you just
a
like
dog.
saying the name.
Penn State guy.
I do like saying the name.
You just like saying the name. Let's be honest.
Okay, Curtis Enos.
Biakabatuka, wasn't he a Michigan guy?
Rashawn Salam.
They were stacked. Curtis Enos, Cary
Speaking of
Collins.
Penn State, Kijana Carter.
Kijana Carter.
Yeah.
Achilles Smith.
Ooh,
Achilles Smith Jr. He's got stuff in some of the Leaf products.
Achilles Smith, would he go in there one of the biggest busts in NFL history there?
No,
he was
I wouldn't say one of the biggest busts.
Well, he was a big bust, though. Top 5 pick, right?
Yeah. Do you know how many top 5 picks have ended up not being a top 5 pick?
Yeah, he wasn't like Christian
quarterback, though. Quarterback's a little bit
Speaking
different.
of like terrible Penn State players, like he wasn't Christian Hackenberg level bust.
I heard that.
Christian Ponder.
Christian Ponder.
Christian Ponder.
What about Charlie Ward?
Charlie Ward, but he never played in the NFL. He played in the NBA for like 15 years.
What about the boat? Blake Bortles. Was he a bust? He led a team to the AFC Championship game.
I love how Jacksonville
Mark Sanchez.
The butt fumble. He went to AFC Championship
We
game.
both thought butt fumble immediately.
He went to back-to-back AFC Championship.
Yeah. So, I don't know. A lot of guys out there, but this is
who I thought was going to be big, and I was excited that I got an auto of him like 14 years
Ryan
ago.
Leaf.
Seneca Wallace.
Seneca Wallace.
I thought he was going to be legit,
He went to Ohio State. I mean, Iowa State, right?
Yeah, he went to Iowa State.
He went to Iowa State?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a big deal. I thought so too, man. So you weren't.
That used to be one of my favorite pastimes games. Was like people would name NFL players, and I would tell them what college they went to.
That's interesting.
Red Grange. I thought he was going to be huge, guys. Back in the day, Red Grange.
Did you? You thought he was going to be huge?
Yeah.
But there is a big thing out there especially for NFL, where people collect NFL quarterback busts. Like I see a lot of like Marcus Russell, Ryan Leaf, Johnny Manziel.
Dude, Manziel always does well for me. Like, I mean, objectively, you don't pay much and you can get a few bucks. But
a lot of people like him, man. I mean, Heisman winner, so he has that going for him. What about Gino Torretta?
Dude, yeah, there we go. Is he a Miami guy?
He was Miami quarterback. Played for a Heisman winner, and then he had a noodle for an arm when he went to the NFL, so it didn't really work out for him there. But I think we bored the public here enough, guys. Any final words?
Dan McGuire. That's my final word. Younger brother of Mark
Seahawks.
McGuire. Yeah, Dan McGuire. That's my final word.
Yeah. Rick Meyer there. That one's for you, Tim.
Dude, Rick Meyer. Keith Schuler. He ended up serving in government. He was like a congressman.
Yeah. Tennessee.
Yep.
Tennessee. Interesting. Tim, any final words?
I mean, Chad Pennington.
We're just gonna keep.
Dude, Santana Moss.
Look, Santana Moss
Let's
is
do
a
like
legend.
early 2000s Jets.
Santana Moss is a legend.
I know he is.
Senoris Moss would be your random guy.
Senor Moss. Wow.
So, yeah.
You know, Randy Moss's kid got a tryout with the Minnesota Vikings.
Montego Moss or whatever. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then Sean Taylor's little brother, Gabe Taylor, is trying out with the Commanders right now.
I thought it was interesting.
Is that his little brother? I thought that was his son.
No, little brother.
Awesome.
Oh, little brother?
That's cool.
I thought it was interesting that none of the other wide receivers for Miami for Cam Ward got drafted in the NFL.
Restrepo signed with somebody, though, right?
Yeah, he signed with the Titans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Restrepo signed with the Titans. And I heard something about Jacoby George, that he was doing good in minicamp.
I think all three.
Story, so I don't know.
If I'm not mistaken, all three wide receivers signed someplace in the NFL for the teams, but and then
the Restrepo thing was he was so slow in the combines, but he just catches though. He could be a slot receiver. He doesn't need to be blazing like 4-4.
I mean, he's one guy that had a lot of cards in the Bowman product that went undrafted, so that could be a play for someone there, especially with Cam Ward down there in Tennessee. They have a relationship already together throughout the years. You know, well, not throughout the years, but for the last year or two. But all right, Cary, any final words? Since Tim's just going to throw random names out, and so are you, apparently.
Tim Couch. That's my final word.
Tim?
That was a good one. John Kitna.
Ooh, that's a good
Put your hands in right now. Just put your hands in, guys. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Good, Tim.
No bangers on 3. 1, 2, 3. No
bangers. You guys better